Hey folks, Hal Shurtleff here with Camp Constitution, and I am in front of the Suffolk Resolves House in Milton, Massachusetts, 1370 Canton Avenue. And Milton is just outside of Boston to its south, and there is this beautiful house that is now the home of the Milton Historical Society. And this very significant event happened here. Let me just give you a little background here on the Suffolk Resolves. On August 26th to the 27th, the committees of correspondence from Suffolk, Middlesex, Essex, and Worcester counties met at Faneuil Hall in Boston to oppose the recent Massachusetts Government Act, which had disenfranchised citizens of Massachusetts by revoking key provisions of the Provincial Charter of 1691. This convention urged all Massachusetts counties to close their courts rather than submit to the oppressive measure. Berkshire had already done so, and by the first week of October, 7 of the 9 contiguous mainline counties in Massachusetts had followed suit. As each county in turn closed its court, it issued a set of resolves to explain its actions. Although these resolves were all similar in tone and scope, the one written by patriots in Suffolk had received more attention for two reasons. It was better crafted, and it was formally endorsed by the Contenental Congress. Ironically, Suffolk, which contained Boston, was the only county in which courts remained nominally open under the protection of British troops. At the Suffolk County Convention of the Committees of Correspondence on September 6, 1774, Joseph Warren, he's the Dr. Warren, who died at Bunker Hill, introduced the first draft of the Suffolk Resolves, which were edited and approved 3 days later at the Daniel Vaux's house in Milton. And this is the Daniel Vaux's house right here, very well preserved. The convention that adopted them had first met at the Woodward Tavern in Dedham, which is today the site of the Norfolk County Courthouse, as with the other county resolves. The Suffolk document denounced the Intolerable Acts, and the Intolerable Acts were passed in the wake of the Boston Tea Party, or coercive acts that had recently been passed by the British Parliament, and specifically resolved to 1. Boycott British imports, curtail exports, and refuse to use British products. 2. Pay no obedience to the Massachusetts Government Act or the Boston Port Bill. Demand resignations from those appointed to positions under the Massachusetts Government Act. 4. Refuse payment of taxes until the Massachusetts Government Act was repealed. 5. Support the colonial government in Massachusetts free of royal authority until the Intolerable Acts were repealed. And this was pretty strong here. And 6. Urge the colonies to raise a militia of their own people. In one of his less famous rides, Paul Revere delivered a copy of the resolves to the First Contenental Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where it was endorsed on September 17th as a show of colonial solidarity. In response, John Adams commended, and by the way, John Adams was a member of the First Contenental Congress and the second one. John Adams commended in his diary, "This was one of the happiest days of my life. In Congress we had generous, noble sentiments and manly eloquence. This day convinced me that America will support Massachusetts or perish with her." Endorsement of the Suffolk Resolves, and with the rebellion that had enveloped Massachusetts, altered the political balance in Congress and paved the way for radical measures such as the Continental Association, a general non-importation agreement. Previously, non-importation agreements had been limited to specific localities, but this one applied to the rebellious colonies. The Committees of Inspection, also called Committees of Safety, that was formed to enforce the Continental Association, established a revolutionary infrastructure similar to the Sons of Liberty in the early days. Now, this place is only opened very rarely. I would advise that you go to the Milton Historical Society website. I know they do open it the weekend closest to September 9th to commemorate this event. And you can find the Suffolk Resolves online, have an understanding of exactly what it entailed. And with that, I want to thank you for watching, and I suggest you subscribe to this channel. And God bless.